almost a week of no contact. And it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. To go from talking to someone every day, thinking about loving someone every day, showing up for someone every day, and then it's just nothing. It's the strangest feeling. The feelings come in waves, because I was doing okay almost all day. It just hits you, and it's almost this panic feeling that comes over you. It's like, wow, I'm not gonna see that person or talk to them or hear their voice. It's just really sad.
A smelly fish.
And it's not a cod.
Aw, yeah, right. It is so sad and heartbreaking that you perfectly set up your camera in your bathroom, started crying, and even had time to go back and edit the video so you could add some heartbreaking music to drive the point home that you're sad because of a breakup. You claim to go no contact, so that means that you're the one who initiated said breakup, and you're using this as an excuse to try and get sympathy from the internet of digital strangers. Either that or you spent the last week alienating your friends and family by endlessly complaining about how your relationship went kaput. Either way, you're not fooling anybody, sister. You want endless attention and sympathy, but there's none to be had from us. We're too busy questioning the authenticity of your statements, and from the sounds of it, we're already smelling a lot of horse malarkey coming from you. And even if that wasn't the case, can you really blame us? It's pretty much come to the point where nothing is real or legitimate anymore, so yeah, thanks for that, internet.
It's true. It was on the internet.
Hello y'all. So it seems that video from a couple of days ago has found its way to Twitter, X, whatever the heck y'all call it now. And it's gotten some very fun comments. So I wanted to talk about those. The first half of the comments are people talking about you can take a guess. Which that's whatever. I grew on myself, so it's fine. The second half of the comments though, that's what got me. It's comments like these. Everybody's basically saying, she's not a real runner. She wears makeup when she runs. She's not a real runner. First, if you actually listen to the video, I never claimed to be a real runner. I said I went for a run. And I didn't do well. Like, yeah, we all know I'm not a real runner. Second, fun fact, makeup doesn't jump off your face whenever you start running. You can work out in it. You can even swim in it nowadays. They make waterproof. It's pretty crazy. I'm not going to go home from doing what I'm doing during the day to take off my makeup to then go for a run.
Oh, that was the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life. Let's go.
Alright, for the full context here is that she was sitting in her car and talked about running while with a face full of makeup and her cleavage was out on full display. People are commenting on how she was wearing makeup while running, and eternal butthurt ensued. Now we're all caught up, there's really no reason to be wearing makeup while performing strenuous exercise, regardless of whether or not the chemicals were designed to resist sweat. If anything, it just goes to show how much you're willing to cover up your face, regardless of the activity, and considering that you have your assets out on display, I think it's safe to say the real reason why you exercise that way has nothing to do with convenience and everything to do with getting attention. You got what you wanted, sister, even though it was for virtually all of the wrong reasons.
You stupid.
Okay, realistically, if I want kids by about 28, but I want to be married for probably 2 years before having kids, I need to have a husband and be married by 26, and then I'm gonna be engaged for probably about a year, to plan the wedding and do all that stuff. So I need to be a fiance. I need to be engaged by 25. But then, usually before you get engaged, you're probably dating the person for about 2 years. I feel like that's a good amount of dating someone. That means that I'm gonna have to basically meet this person by 23? 22? Wait a second. I'm very much single.
I'm shocked.
I hate to break it to you, but you forgot some other metrics there. First off, you need to learn how to be well behaved and how to act in public and learn some good old-fashioned humility. You also need to learn how to properly cook, clean, and have a personality that doesn't involve putting a camera in front of your face. There's also the self-control that you need to have in order to not go after the men who are out of your league. And don't ask me how I know this, but some table manners are in order as well for you. You also need to learn that men think for themselves and are going to be a little reticent to marry someone who complains online. So when we put all of that together with how do you do, then you really needed to start about 20 years ago. So yeah, marriage is completely out of the question for you there. But hey, look on the bright side. You've at least opened the door for endless complaining on the internet, so I guess that's something.
Woo! Hey! Hey!
I'm going to share the best piece of relationship advice that I've ever gotten because I feel like some of you need it right now. And I feel qualified to say this because I'm now getting married to the most amazing human being in the world. And I had dated a lot, and I had dated a lot of different type of people. I'm talking good men, bad, horrible men, tall men, short men, rich men, poor men, every single type of different relationship, like basically everything. So I do feel qualified to say this.
That's nothing to be proud of, Rusty.
But the relationship advice came from my mom. So of course, when I first heard it, I ignored it. What does she know? But alas, she's Polish. So she was raised in communism. So her relationship advice was always going to be really, really direct. It wasn't like, find someone who loves you, find someone who makes you happy. No. She said, life is already complicated. Do not complicate your own life further. But she said in Polish. So what does this mean? It means your partner should make your life easier. It should be easy to be with them. It should make things easier in general for you.
I want, me, mine, now.
You know, hearing this reminds me of a little joke. How many Polak modern women does it take to screw in a light bulb? The answer's none of them. They're too busy crying about it online to figure it out. But then it'll take all of them to celebrate their accomplishment after 5 weeks of intensive research how to figure out that type of screwing. Now, I find it funny how your mother told you some advice that most men have known for centuries, and then you proceeded to make your life significantly more difficult with all of the quote-unquote dating you've done, even though we all know that it wasn't dating. And the fact that you're getting married because of it means absolutely nothing. All it tells us is that this guy is inevitably going to make your life easier within the next few years after he's forced to cut you alimony checks. And even with all of that money in your pocket, you're still going to have trouble remembering how to screw in that light bulb.
And some of you are going to come in here and say like, oh no, you have to make sacrifices. I'm not talking about like some small sacrifices like, yeah, I like the apartment to be hot and my fiance likes it cooler, whatever. But hear me out. If you're dating somebody and you feel like you have so many more responsibilities and you're cleaning the house all the time, or like all of a sudden you're picking up dishes for two and cooking for two, first of all, you're not dating, you've adopted him. That's making your life harder. Like that's complicating your life. Or you're dating somebody and you feel like you're constantly walking on ice and trying not to piss them off. He's making your life more complicated. That's not the right person for you. Or there's so much like drama with his family and a bunch of stuff going on. Again, making your life more complicated.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Okay, so effectively what you're saying is that if a man asks anything of you, it's making your life more complicated. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. That man must provide the food, cook the meals, clean the dishes, and keep the apartment at the appropriate temperature at all times because apparently your life is so complicated that having to do anything freaks you out to the point of uselessness. I mean, you said it yourself. If you do anything for this man, then you've effectively adopted him, which means that you're marrying a simp. You've made so many mistakes in life that now it's the man's responsibility to make your life easier at the expense of making his more complicated. Because at the end of the day, you expect that poor guy to fix something that you insist on constantly smashing into smaller pieces to the point where it can't be fixed. And that's not the man's job. It's yours to have it figured out before getting into a marriage with somebody. But then again, you're Polish, so I'd expect nothing less. Gentlemen and gents, I just received word from the Intergalactic Thought Police that I need to issue out an apology to the entire country of Poland. It wasn't my intention to insult these fine people, and I feel really bad about it. I've got nothing against the Polish. In fact, I want to celebrate one of their achievements. I once heard about a diner out near Cheyenne, Wyoming who hired a Polish short order cook part-time who almost once made a chef's salad that was almost passable. And I think that's an accomplishment to the entire country of Poland, and that's worth celebrating. So, I'm sorry, Poland. I'll never do it again. Probably.
Or, I love this one, he's a deadbeat. He doesn't work, but you love him. But daddy, I love him, but he's so great. and you're paying the bills. No, he's making your life more complicated. When you find the right person, and I'm sure women on here can attest to this, you can comment below, when you find the right person, your life gets significantly easier. You find somebody to split your burdens, your challenges, your chores, your housework, your all of that kind of stuff, your life should get easier. So that's the relationship advice I have for you for 2025. Life is complicated already. Do not complicate your life further. Find somebody who makes things easier for you.
No.
Alright, so what exactly are you doing to make your husband's life easier? I mean, don't you think he deserves something other than your ability to waste his time, energy, and oxygen? I mean, what are you willing to do? You've made it clear that you're not going to cook, clean, or even be friendly. And even if you are doing any of those things, you're still keeping score. For every one thing you do for him, he must move above and beyond to do something for you. That's not a relationship. That's a transaction. And if you're operating under this mentality, then you've pretty much been stealing from this guy. And he deserves better than to have to do all of the work in exchange for your mere presence. And I'm going to give you this marriage a maximum of 2 years before you figure out a way to complain about how this guy is complicating your life because he didn't fold the towels correctly one time. You won't be able to help yourself. It'll always be about you.
Yeah, that checks out. That sounds about right.
Hey ladies, please don't get mad at me because I love you. But can someone please explain to me what the point of having a roster that big is if none of them are paying your bills or contributing into your dreams or future business goals? Let's think about this. You're just giving away your time for free. And this is shaming. Do whatever you want. But let's think about things for a second. If you were able to cut down the majority of that roster, think about all of the free time that you would have now. You would have enough time to build towards the future you actually want for yourself. I am not saying don't date. I'm saying decentralize men from your life a little bit. I know life is super hard, but you've got this. I personally failed many times to get to where I am today.
Congratulations!
Do you even know what the point of a roster is? It's not just so a modern woman can give away her time for free. It's pretty much a list of dudes who can give her stuff for free. She's got dudes for free dinners, free emotional support, sometimes free money, not to mention the list of men who can give her fun times with her unholy tunnel of slimy hellfire, so she can distract herself from the fact that she's failed in every capacity in her life. We know this because modern women have literally told us as such. It's just an excuse for her to waste her life so she can get free stuff now. Now, I do agree modern women shouldn't be bothering with rosters, but this needed to be drilled into their skulls before they hit puberty so they could have had a chance to learn the virtues of kindness, respect, and restraint. But it's too late. She's been drilled out by Chad, Tyrone, Rafael, Marco, Chang, Wang, Takedo, and Alfredo. So this advice of yours is too little too late there.
People think it happened overnight, but it was 10 years of hard work for an overnight success. What I'm really trying to say is, if you fall, don't be afraid to get up, even if you fall a couple of times after that. When you fail, ladies, you don't need to immediately jump into motherhood in order to feel fulfillment, even though motherhood is absolutely rewarding and can be very fulfilling. I just don't want you to regret anything, because I think you can do it. Oh, and you can chase your dreams and be a good mother. It's all about balance. Don't let them get in your head, okay, Diva? I'm not saying that no one's coming to save you. I'm just saying, why not be halfway there by the time they show up? You could find a rich husband, or you could be your own. But why not both?
I must have missed 60 minutes. What are you saying?
Are you seriously trying to imply that women should only become mothers when they fail at starting a business? Or are you trying to say that they should try and get knocked up by a rich dude? Or is this some kind of a plug for your failed business seminars? Like, what are you trying to say here? Now, I'm not trying to say I'm an educated man or anything, but I feel like if you're going to give some form of advice, then you should actually have a point with it. Because it sounds like you're trying to combine body counts with business strategies, with motherhood and leeching off of rich men. I gotta hand it to you. Only a modern woman can try to combine all of those into a motivational speech that goes literally nowhere. It's kind of sad that I have to be the one to tell you this, but maybe you should think about these things before you say them. Then again, you actually have to be capable of being able to think in order for that to be a possibility.
Amen.
I feel like I have to either be single and talking to no one, or like there's no other way. Like every time I start talking to a new guy or whatever, or like talking to guys, I literally forget all my goals, everything I was like doing before. Like I just like forget myself, and like they're my goal. And it's like every time I'm just single me, like I've literally gone like months without talking to a guy, like literally no texting. Like yeah, of course, like when I go out, like, you know, hey, whatever, but like, and I feel my best. And it's like I don't know how to explain that, because of course like I still have lover girl in me, and I just want to love, like I just want to love and be with someone.
Liar, liar, liar.
But then the next day I wake up and I'm like, the last thing I want is a relationship, because I know how that is. Like I know, I mean, I don't know exactly how it is because I've never been in one, but I know how the talking stage is for me, and I couldn't imagine how a relationship would be for me. The things I hear that my friends tell me and like things I see, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
What?
I don't see how you can desperately want to love and be loved when you have zero experience in what that's like. I mean, you said it yourself, you've never had a boyfriend, so you can only assume what it's like based on your brief texting stints and biased stories from your friends. So it stands to reason that the only real experiences you've had with men is your dabbling in hookup culture, which has left your mind so warped that there's no going back. There are plenty of dudes out there who can give you a good relationship, but those men have either been thrown to the friend zone or have been deemed to be unworthy with you, even though you have nothing to offer those men. And your only recourse is to assume that all relationships are horrible and you need to sabotage them before they actually have a chance to happen. Which is just a long way of saying that you're in this disaster because you lit the fuse on the bomb, all because other people convinced you to strike the match.
And the next day, I'm like talking to guys casually, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, like why don't they want to be in a relationship with me? Because it's like I know my worth, I know who I am, and I'm like, why would like I tolerate these guys? But then the next day I'm like, well, I don't really care, I'm just having fun, like whatever. But I can't just have fun and whatever. Like once you actually start to love yourself and like focus on yourself and prioritize yourself and actually work towards yourself, as much as you want to have fun and stuff, like yes, I still have fun, but I physically can't let myself talk to a guy, have them disrespect me, and say, oh, like, I'm just having fun, I really don't care. Because I think that, like, I really think, like, they disrespect me fully, like, if they really disrespected me, but I don't know the difference. Sometimes, like, guys say things to me, and I'm like, I tell my friends, and they're like, what? But to me, I'm like, that's so not as bad as what I've received. That's terrible to say, but like not as bad as what another guy has said to me, so I don't consider it like disrespecting me. And I'm like, oh, it's just like fun, whatever, like I don't really care. But then the next day I wake up and I'm like, I do care though. Like I do care, because why don't they want to be with me? Why are they being like this? And like ever gonna want to be with you or treat you seriously when you just treat them like casual? Like
I can see that this discussion is going in circles, so we're gonna go now, okay?
Well, maybe you should have thought of that before diving headfirst into situationship after situationship. I mean, you're sitting there and endlessly babbling, but you haven't said anything of actual substance, and that's pretty much par for the course when you prioritize physical relations over anything else. It's left you so lost and confused that you can't even form a coherent sentence. Nobody knows what you're talking about. You want to be left alone, but you don't want to be left alone. You want respect, but you can't respect yourself. And you're basing all of this on dudes who just want to sleep with you and testimonials from friends who are dead set on keeping you single. And that's come to the point where you can't even find a good guy. It's not going to matter, because at the end of the day, you've decided that you'd rather completely screw up your life in an endless series of hookups and complain about it on TikTok. Which just goes to show there's no hope for you, sister. You brought all of this on yourself. Just want to give some recognition to the fine members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon for making today's video possible. These fine folks have been supporting the channel and helping me to get content out to you guys every single day, and I cannot thank you enough. All hail! If you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to exclusive content you're not going to find on YouTube. And if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and leave a couple of comments and share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.